Hi there. Today we're going to do a band workout. So you need your band, and this set of exercises is going to be mostly done in the chair. And I just wanted to give you a few pointers first off before we get started. When we're using our band, most of you will have a band with handles. For some of the moves we will be using the handles, but sometimes we'll be grabbing the band in the middle and just on the tubing part. So I will cue you for that. Posture is very, very important with all of these exercises. If you don't have good posture in the proper position, you might do the move incorrectly and potentially use the wrong muscles. So it's important to follow my cues as we get through this, and then if you come back and rewatch this, you can turn on music once you're used to doing the moves without my voice cueing. So, and then the other big thing is a lot of people will bend their wrist when they're doing the move, like this. I really want you to keep a firm wrist and a nice firm grip when whatever part of the band you're gripping on. You don't want to have a floppy wrist. So stay strong in that wrist just to give that good support, and you're going to move through the motion properly that way. Also, depending on the type of band you have or the strength of it, the more slack you have, the easier the exercise will be. So it's up to you to modify how hard you want that exercise to be. Okay, so even if you have a hard band, you can still give yourself a little more slack with the motion, and that will make it a little bit easier. So you kind of can adjust that as we go through each exercise. All right. We're going to get started here. I'm going to do a little bit of a warm up, and then we're going to do 8 to 10 of each exercise. So we're going to start in the chair. So this is all seated exercises, and we're just going to start with some arm circles. We want to warm up our body. Nice and big circles now. And of course, your posture is important here too. So you're drawing that belly button in. Pause, switch directions. Start small if you need to, and then make those circles bigger. And you always want your shoulders back and down. You don't want scrunched up here, and you don't want to be rounded forward. So nice tall torso, sitting up tall. Okay, chest is proud. All right, and we're going to warm up those wrists. So we were doing a few inward circles and outward circles. We're just getting some range of motion in those joints. And shake it out. We're going to reach high, reach low, and switch. Wiggling those fingers and switch. Nice steady breathing as we move through these. One more each side. Reach and reach. All right, we're going to come into our I Dream a Genie position. Feet firmly on the floor, nice and tall torso. And we're just going to rotate to the side, bring it back to center. Other side. Warming up that spine just a little bit. You can really get a great workout by using a resistance band. It just all comes down to how you utilize it and doing proper form. And back to center. Relax down. We're just going to do a little bit of marching here to warm up those legs. We'll do a few leg exercises as well. All right, and then up on our tiptoes and back down. Tiptoes and down. Relax. All right, we're going to go ahead and grab our band. All right, this first exercise is a hammer curl, so it's similar to a bicep curl. We're just not going to use the handles for this one. So I want both feet on that band. Pressing down firmly. We're sitting up tall. Shoulders are back and down. And you're grabbing down on that blue part of the band, okay? My elbows are locked in here at my rib cage, and I'm just going to bring that band shoulders and relax down. Adjusting the resistance. If that seems too hard, you can move on up closer to the handles. Okay? Keep those elbows locked in. Exhale as you pull those weights up. Steady breathing, that's right. Keep that core locked in. And try to be smooth with your motion. You don't want to just snap back down. Have the control with each exercise. And last one. All right. We're going to do an overhead press next. So if you have shoulder issues, this one can be a little tricky, so make sure you have plenty of slack. I'm going to have one hand has the handle, and the other handle's just laying on the floor. Palm is going to be facing me, so you could wave at me. So you don't want to have your hand like this. Rotate it so that hand is facing, or palm is facing me. Opposite leg is going to step on that band. Okay, so opposite sides. And you got a pretty firm step on that band, okay? And you can adjust your resistance. Remember, more slack makes it easier, okay? You don't want to start off way like this. That's going to be hard to do. So make sure you got plenty of slack. Starting at the shoulder, good posture, and we're just pushing that band straight overhead, trying not to crimp your neck. So what I mean by that is none of that, okay? Just pushing straight overhead, and if you can't get that full extension, give yourself a little bit more slack and try to straighten that arm. If your shoulders don't like it and you get right here, that's okay, just try. A few more on this side. Nice and steady breathing. Woo. Keep that core activated so that you're not leaning. And relax. We're just going to take that handle to the other side, switch the band over under the other foot. Kind of adjust your slack. Got that handle starting right at the shoulder. And activate that core, good posture, and pressing overhead other side. Smooth and controlled. I need a little bit more of a challenge, so I'm going to tighten up that slack. After you use this band a few times, you kind of figure out the slack of your band and what resistance you can handle. And we got one more. And relax, excellent. All right, next we're doing a low back exercise. You're gonna have both feet on the band. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see how straight my back is with this, all right? We're gonna have both feet on the band. I'm sitting a little bit forward in my chair, so my tush isn't all the way back. A little more like that. All right, shoulders are back and down. I'm grabbing down a little bit on the band. I'm not grabbing the handles here. I wouldn't get any resistance if I grabbed those handles. So for the low back, we're gonna keep our arms straight. Our arms are not gonna move on this one, okay? So we've got our belly button drawn in, and we're just gonna hinge forward. Grab down as far as you can on that band with those straight arms, but don't round forward. Keep those shoulders back. And we're just gonna sit up tall, tap the top of that chair, and you're gonna fold forward, adjusting your grip for the resistance. We're just folding forward and sitting up. You might not feel this right away, but if you're activating that core, draw that belly button in, you're using those back muscles, but you gotta have good posture. Exhale as you sit up. Keep those arms straight. After 8 or 10 of these, you might feel this in that low back. You're coming a little bit past vertical here. All right, last one. And then you're gonna fold forward and release and sit up. Okay, our next exercise is a seated row. We're essentially gonna get in that same position we were just in, both feet on the band. Shoulders are back and down, hinging forward, but this time, this one gets a little loud. You can grip your handles around your wrists and then slide through and grip your band if that's quieter. Okay, so I'm got a nice flat back, and for this one I'm hinged forward just a little bit, and this time it's just my arms moving. I am squeezing my shoulder blades together, elbows rub past your ribs, squeeze that shoulder blade and release. Notice I don't have chicken wings. I'm keeping those arms close to my body. I'm not using my neck muscles. My knees are not pressed together. Okay? Squeeze those elbows back behind you, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Feel that come together. This can be a tough one. Adjust your slack if you need to, your grip. Last one, squeeze and release and sit up tall. You're kind of planking there, like holding that hinged position, so do what you can there. All right, next we have our Y's to W's. So essentially what we're doing, we're gonna make a Y, kind of like a YMCA song, all right? And then we're gonna pull the elbows down, so we're making a W here, and then with the shoulder blades in the back, and then down, okay? So we're going from here to here. You're gonna grip the middle of that band. So if you've got a shorter distance between your fists, it's gonna be harder. So you take those hands a little bit wider here. We're reaching up in that Y position, and we're just squeezing the elbows down. You can squeeze in front to your chest, or you can squeeze behind your head. You just don't want to bring that band any farther down than chest or upper back height. Okay, so remember Y to W, and you can alternate. And you're kind of pushing your fists out as you pull down. See how that is? No arch in the back here. To the Y, we got a little slack, and then we're pushing that slack out. Okay, so there's very little movement in that band, but we are trying to squeeze. All right, one more Y to W. Release up and relax down. Very good. Let's shake those arms out a little bit. All right, next we're going to do a tricep press to the side. We'll do one side at a time, and then we're going to move on and do a leg exercise. Okay, so if your arms are getting a little tired, that's okay. We're almost moving on to something else. All right, so with one hand, you're going to take that handle, and then you're going to come in about 8 to 10 inches here on your band and grip with your hand. The hand that is holding the band, you're going to brace right here at your chest. We're sitting up tall. We're taking that hand with the handle, and we're just going to push it out to the side. Bring it in. So my palm is facing down at the floor, and I'm just going to push out to the side. Remember that firm wrist here, no floppy wrist. Keep it firm, and we're pushing to the side. If you need a little more resistance, you can tighten up that grip. Pushing to the side. Now, if your shoulders don't like this straight out and you want to go down, you can do that too. That'd be all right. Just keep that nice firm grip right here at your chest. Got two more. And bring it in. All right, and I'm going to try and do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm going to drop the hand with the handle. I'm going to grab with the other hand in the same spot I had on the band, holding that hand now at the chest, and the other hand has that handle, okay? Kind of that overhand grip facing down with a nice firm wrist, and we're just pushing to the side. Still sitting up tall, still working on that posture. A lot of things to focus on. And don't forget breathing, right? And last last one here. Kick it out and bring it in. Excellent. All right, next we have our leg press. So on this one, I want your upper body still activated. Shoulders are back and down. We're gonna take that band and wrap it around one shoe. It's right around the middle of my foot, the arch of my foot, okay? I'm sitting up tall like I got the reins of a horse. I'm not holding the handles, I'm gripping where I think I can manage, okay? Now if you need to lean against the back of your chair, that's fine. But if you can, kind of brace yourself, use your core to sit up tall here. We got that knee in towards our chest, and we're just gonna push the bottom of our foot away. So we're straightening and bending. This one, a lot of people do incorrectly, so I'm gonna sit to the side so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. A lot of people will just do this. That's not using your band, okay? You got your elbows locked in. I'm pushing my foot away. Straighten the leg and bring it in. Push away, knee comes in. It feels completely different than this, okay? So everything has to be done correctly. Let's get a few more on this leg and we'll switch to the other side. 2 and 1. Bring that knee in, relax, leg down, keep that same grip right in the middle of that other shoe. You don't want to be on the tiptoes, it'll slide up and snap you, okay? Get your upper body adjusted, elbows locked in like the reins of a horse, okay? Nice firm grip, knee comes in close to the chest or the belly, push that bottom of the foot away, the knee comes in. Nice steady breathing with each push out. Make sure those shoulders aren't sneaking up towards your ears. Sometimes with this one, they like to do this. Keep them down. And last one here, bring that knee in. Relax your band and relax down. All right, we just have a few more. We're gonna do another couple arm exercises here. And this next one is the chest press. So we're taking the band around our back. One hand is gonna have a handle. You want that band up around your chest, okay? Right under the armpits, essentially. Okay, one hand is gonna have the handle. You're gonna kind of have to adjust your slack here. I'm gonna be gripping on the other side on my band, and you can adjust your slack in a minute. But that's gonna be my anchor over here on this side. Okay, the hand with the handle is gonna be my moving part. Sitting up tall, I'm just gonna jab that arm forward and bring it back. So chest height, and I can tighten my grip and make it a little bit harder. This is a one-sided chest press. Don't forget the breathing. And a firm wrist. A lot of people want to bend their wrist on this one, especially backward on this. So make sure wrist is straight. Kind of giving yourself a back massage here. And 2 more on this side. Stay with me. Woo, that's tough. All right. And then we're just gonna slide around and do the other side. All right, so the other hand has a handle. You've got your anchor grip here by the other armpit, okay? Band under both armpits, sitting up tall, and just jabbing straight ahead. You don't wanna go overhead. We're going straight out from that shoulder, upper chest. Straighten that arm, nice straight wrist. If this is hurting that wrist, maybe give yourself a little slack so it's not so much of a strain. And last push here. All right, very good. Our last arm exercise, we have the accordion. All right, so elbows elbows are about 90 degrees right next to our rib cage, and they're gonna be locked in here. We've got an underhand grip. So how much slack you have here is up to you. I'm gonna have about 6 to 8 inches here, maybe a little more, because I got kind of a challenging band here. All right, our elbows are gonna stay in, and we're just gonna push or pull. Actually, those weights, those fists are pulling out to the side. Keep the elbows in. This is a bit of a challenge. Yeah, it's that underhand grip. If that hand grip doesn't work for you, you can do an overhand instead. That's fine. Everybody's got different shoulder issues, and this is about where you're gonna feel that in the shoulder. So you're just pushing that band out as far as you can. It might only be a few inches, that's okay. I'm not very strong, but this, it will get better. You'll get acclimated to this exercise. Last one, push out and relax. All right, next we have our clamshells. So this is an outer thigh exercise. We're gonna wrap that band around both legs, feet together. So they're sandwiched together, knees are starting together. We're getting that band as tight as you can, and you're gripping and holding with both hands to keep it taut, okay? You can tie it around your legs, but it's just as easy for me to grip it and whatnot, okay? So good posture, and we're just gonna push the knees out, try to keep those feet down, and come back in. Now with this one, it's easy to push out and then smack together. We wanna resist the smack, so you're pushing out, ease it in. Push out, and ease it in. So just because these are seated exercises, it does not mean that these are easier than standing exercises. Sometimes they are, but it's just a matter of where your fulcrum is and where you're applying the force. And in a chair, you can get just as good an exercise or strengthening as if you're standing. So don't be afraid to do these even when you get proficient at them. And let's do 2 more here. All right, and now in the same position, I'm just gonna kind of slide my, where I'm holding at, to one side. I'm grabbing both bands, and I still have it wrapped around both legs. I'm kind of easing up on the slack because I'm gonna move that other leg a little bit more. Hand on the hip, sitting up tall, taking this leg, stepping to the side. That band is resisting. My ankle stays over my knee, and my hips and shoulders stay facing forward. I'm not swiveling in my seat, that's cheating, okay? We're moving just the leg. That hip has to do this motion. A little inner outer thigh hip mobility here. And we're not reaching with the foot. That foot stays under the knee. Woo, march it out to the side. And some of you might just be a little bit. That's okay, do what you can. Last one here, step it in. All right, woo, legs back together. I'm sliding that band, my grip over here to the other side. All right, and then I'm stepping out with the other leg. Keep that upper body and top of your hips, your waistband, keeping that locked into place, facing forward, and just stepping out with that hip joint. Has to do this work, and you're lifting. You're getting that hip flexor. Remember, you're not reaching with that foot. And 2 more. Keep that resistance on. Woo, and step it in. All right. Woo. That is a pretty good full body exercise right there with the band. There's, of course, a lot of other things you can do, but I think that's a good set of exercises. Let's do a few stretches while we're here to kind of cool down our muscles. We're going to do a shoulder stretch, so you're bringing your arm across. Other arm is there to help stretch. You can do a few wrist rotations up and down, but make sure you're stretching that shoulder. and relax. Other side, bring the arm across. Other arm is up there to help stretch. And then add in the wrist circles and up and downs. And relax. Let's pat ourselves on the back for a job well done. This is a good tricep stretch. So our fingertips are reaching to the middle of our back behind us. Not everybody can do this stretch, but try. And you can add a little pressure and pull that elbow back if you want more of a stretch. Remember, all these stretches should feel good. If they pinch in any way, it's time to readjust or skip that stretch for now. All right, same thing other side. Fingertips towards the middle of the back. And we'll stretch that tricep out. Back of the arm. And release. We're gonna do a torso stretch. So kind of holding onto your chair here, reaching right overhead. And get a little lean. Your tush stays in that chair. We want to get a little separation between the ribs and the top of the hip here. And release, other side. Gripping that chair, reaching right overhead. Deep breath. Very good. All right, let's get the back of that leg. So we're kicking one heel forward. I'm right on the edge of my seat here. One leg stays bent, the other leg is nice and straight, but you're not locking that knee. Toes are up towards the ceiling. With a flat back, we're hinging at the hips, leading with the chest. You should feel that pretty quickly. This is a great stretch to do at the end of the day, even if you haven't done a band exercise, because this is stretching out the whole back side of that leg, behind the knee, the calf, the hamstring. And we use all those muscles when we walk and stand. So it's a great exercise to do. Everybody needs it. Sitting up tall, other leg. Heel forward, toes up towards the ceiling. Hinging. We're not trying to touch our toes. We're just stretching here. Ooh, relax that knee so that you get the whole back side of the leg. And release. All right, let's do one more stretch here. We're relaxing our shoulders down. We're gonna tilt that ear towards the shoulder, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And then that outside arm, we're gonna reach away. And feel that stretch along there. And then add a little pressure if you want that added stretch. Whew. All right, and other side. Ear towards that shoulder. Add in that little reach. Add a little pressure, only if it feels good. And release. And let's shake it all out. And you're done. All right. Thanks for joining me. And you can come back and watch this as many times as you want. Like I said, after you've watched it a few times and you're feeling more comfortable with the positions and your hand grip, then you can add your own music to this if you would like. Just play it in the background. I just wanted to make sure you could hear me today without being drowned out by music. So get with the program and do this 2 or 3 times a week. It'd be great for you. Have a great day.